Good morning. It's a full, rainy, misty day in Victoria. And so on that note, today I thought with encouragement, I had a lot of encouragement, to entertain you with a cooking. Well, not much cooking. I'm not going to cook it. I'm just going to give you some instructions and guide you through my little method here. Well, let me just go over some things here. For the longest time, I don't know if you've ever been hungry, like really hungry and traumatized at the same time. It's the worst feeling in the world. You have no energy to satisfy. I mean, especially when you're young. So anyway, when I was 15, I had home ec. I took a home ec class in school, and they taught us how to make pierogies. And yeah, and I guess the way they used to do it is you'd roll out the dough, and you'd use a glass, and you make these little circles. And that's so slow, and it's so much work. You say, oh, I don't want to make pierogies. That's an all-day job and stuff. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and simplify it and show you how to do it so you can eat like in a half hour if you're really hungry. And I mean, this is something. Okay, so I think all you really need is 3 ingredients. You need flour. Now let me tell you, I go through about 10 of those a year. I probably went through about 20 of those in the last 2 decades. And they used to be $4.99 when I started my journey of pierogi making full-time 20 years ago. And that was like $4.99. The potatoes used to be like $1.98 a 10-pound bag, and cheese I used to get like for $5. Well, now the cheese is like over $10. The potatoes are almost $10, and that I paid $17.99 at the most for one of those. But I get on sale for around $12 or so, and I get about 40 meals out of it, and that works out to about 30 cents a meal for flour. And the potatoes, well, yeah, so I can get a good meal out of those. And so if I have that, I'm good. Sour cream is a bonus. But I'm going to show you how to make that into pierogies without stressing too much. Okay, give me a few minutes. Well, I'm going to get myself organized here. Okay. The sad part about all this is I don't have one of those big designer kitchens, with the big island and the big double door stainless steel fridge and the Wolf stove. And no, it's not a Martha Stewart kitchen. So I'm having an issue about how I'm going to tell you about this. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. This is called struggling and trying to get by. Okay, here we go. What I do with those potatoes and cheese is I make a bucket of mashed potatoes. Now, I don't have to show you how to make mashed potatoes with cheese. You can do that. That's pretty easy. Yeah, I usually do like a whole bunch of potatoes because then I can do a dozen pierogies at a time. So that's in the mashed potato mix there. It's not too yellow because I don't put too much cheese, because since I'm using cream, I don't really need to have all that extra. And now with these buckets that I'm using are from ice cream. I always pail of vanilla ice cream, and I have 1 big spoon after every meal. That's it. I don't have a big bowl or anything. So I've got all these containers. I've got so many of them. Well, let's see if I've got tons of them. And I have flour in every one of them and stuff. So anyway, so what you need to do to make flour, you need 1 of these. This is 1 cup. You need a cup of flour, level cup, and this is a third of a cup. So I'm going to put a third of a cup of water in there, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. And I have a knife. I will show you how to make that. I just have to find foam so you can watch me make this, because I give myself 5 minutes to make flour. Now, into dough. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, so real amateur here. Okay, so I've got some water. I'm going to put some water into 1/3 of a cup of water into the flour mixer. The flour and water. Okay, there we go. So now to make flour, because this is the hardest part, because I mean, once you make your dough, then you're almost there. Okay, so let's time this here, how long it takes me to make this dough. If you have a bread maker, you could do this easily, like with a bread maker. I had a bread maker, but the thing burnt out. I use it like every day. So, yeah, and I must have done this 10,000 times. I had some fake friends once. The only reason they were my friends is because I would do stuff for them. And they had me make them 36 dozen pierogies. Make us pierogies. So I made them for them. That's the kind of friend I am. Now I don't have friends like that anymore. I know better. So now I'll make pierogies for the world though. Here we go. We're going to make these for you guys. If you like pierogies, I mean, if you're hungry and you have these basic ingredients, you could survive. I mean, look at me, I've done it. Okay, so clean off the knife here. The humidity is high. So the dough kind of gets to be a little bit stickier, and you kind of have to add more flour and stuff to accommodate the extra moisture. Anyway, you just work it, and you don't need to butter your hands or anything. That's what they used to teach us, like put butter on your hands. You don't have to. When you do the exact water to flour, you get a nice dough with no hassle. Now it's best if you have a cutting board that they don't stick to. Oh, I can feel the moisture. I can feel a little bit of, oh, come on, this ain't working. Yeah, I can feel the dampness. So I have to, so this is my first attempt at cooking instruction videos. So, and this is just raw. I'm not going to edit, and I'm not going to go back and do it 100 times, because for the amount of views that I'm going to get, it's maybe if I had like 500 to 1,000 subscribers, maybe. Okay, so there we go. So now, what you need is a mug. A nice mug like this. Or you could use a rolling pin, but I usually like to just use this mug. So, I'm making a dozen pierogies. So, what I gotta do is I gotta make 12 little balls of dough. Okay, so you see I got 12 balls of dough, and what I do then is I have these placemats. I got them 25 years ago, and they don't have any lint on them, like they don't, you could use a dish towel, a cotton dish towel or something that's clean, and what you do is you because these are a little bit wet, I have to kind of work on them a bit. But yeah, you make a little like that. Just spread them out onto your placemat. Yeah, I can make a batch of pierogies, 1 dozen pierogies in exactly a half hour. From the minute I peel a potato to the minute I put them on the plate. This used to be my survival go-to food. Anyway, it also takes my mind off problems in the day. I can work on a... Okay, so there we got 12. We're just gonna set those there. Well, we take this mix here. I have a spoon in here. I'm gonna make 12 little balls. I know this is probably boring. You're probably watching something else on TikTok while I catch up here, but like I say, I want to make these as I go along here with my Samsung Galaxy phone camera. So you could probably, you know, take this idea and perfect it and do it on your design or cooking channel. Anything to help. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so and I just like roll them, make them nice, perfect little smooth balls. Yeah, it's a shame that this camera and setup isn't going to get me. Okay, so got the balls. Okay, wash my hands. Okay, now we've got the dough balls, not dough, the flat, you know what I mean. We got the potatoes, and now we got to put the potato filling inside the dough. So I guess what I could do is slide this there. Can I bring this down here? Okay, so yeah, you take your dough and your mug. And it helps if you have, yeah. So you're gonna get nice flat, and you put them out. And because they're kind of a little bit wet, because of the moisture in this room, they'll kind of dry out a little bit as I spread them out. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Okay, so let's see. We've got the cheese and potato balls, and we've got our dough. Okay, now we're going to mate them together here. You just grab, and now what I like to do is just lay it over top, and then I pinch We'll do this live. Yeah, I'm gonna annoy you, and I'm gonna go really slow and painful here. But I'm gonna do all 12. So I'm making them for my dinner. But this is gonna be for tonight. I'm not gonna eat these now. Yeah, it's kind of damp. This dough wants to stay moist, and that's okay. I'm a pro. I've been doing this for so long, I can handle this. But you might get frustrated and say, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. So what you could do is put on an oscillating fan and just blow some wind on it, and that'll help the stickiness and get you back in gear again. So. Yeah, I watch those other YouTubers, and everything's just so perfect, and their lives are perfect. Anyway. Yeah, this is what a night would be. Like 10:30 at night, I'd be doing this when I used to come home from work. I'd be like making a dozen pierogies to calm myself down, because this is soul food for me. It just calms me right down. Okay, so let's take my camera here, and there we have our 1 dozen pierogies. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay them, and I'm going to roll them up in here, and I'm going to put this in the fridge. I just roll them up, and that way they don't stick together. Yeah, I do. I'll roll it, and I'll roll them all up inside, and then I can eat them tonight for dinner, because I don't need them right now. But, well, I got this out of my system, okay? I did a pierogi in the kitchen, the best I could do, and, well, I'll know from the comments if I should ever try this again, because I want to do a pizza one, and if it's going to go like this and I don't get any good comments, we'll see. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and yeah, get flour, potatoes, and some cheese, and maybe make a whole bunch. Have a pierogi party, have people over, and then you can use my video, watch my video, and you can do pierogis together. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.